there are a multitude of reasons that mail-in voting is a real problem, and it's not political. And by the way, it wasn't political until this election. There was pretty much unilateral agreement. You can argue about what happened with gerrymandering. You can argue about some kind of, well, you can't argue about it, but the left did argue about voter identification. However, until this election, and this is obviously because of COVID is what they would claim, the idea of showing up at the polls, and it's your duty as an American citizen to pull that lever, punch that ticket, which in Florida they go, I don't know what. The point is, you should show up and do it. It's only changed recently. And there are plenty of examples as to where, I mean, in New Jersey, this happened not too long ago, by the way. There's a long history as to why it hasn't worked. But just recently, let me rattle this off. 1.4 million voters, they participated. 87% of them did it by mail. 65,000 ballots had to be thrown out for arriving late. Okay, Michigan just had 846 ballots thrown out because voters were dead. Then you also have...
Yeah, they definitely can't show up in that instance, right? Yeah.
4 elections from Heritage that were stolen that we know of. School board election in Fresno County, mayoral election in Miami in 1997, a Democratic primary in East Chicago, Indiana. So I guess East Chicago, Indiana, that's right. It's kind of like Toledo is basically Michigan, and East St. Louis is actually Illinois. And a congressional election in North Carolina, the 9th district in 2018. There are plenty of examples as to why this can be a problem. Now, if you think that we need to somehow create a foolproof system due to COVID before this election, that's more of a valid argument to make. You have somewhat of a leg to stand on, but that's not what the left is saying right now. The left is saying, what was so funny to me is I tuned into CNN this morning. And I hate to say it, but the
that's funny.
The Armenian genocide deniers, and they were complaining, saying, when Donald Trump said maybe we'll have to host this election later. What do you think? Can you believe that he wants to delay the election? The election is supposed to happen on the day. CNN this morning, Armenian genocide deniers were saying, well, the thing is, we need to do mail-in ballots, and it is going to take 3 to 6 days. By the way, studies show a week to get the results.
Wow.
And results that aren't right. A 3% margin of error. Keep in mind, that's all the swing states.
Wow.
3%. Plus or minus 3%. Ooh, hold on a second. What about Michigan, Pennsylvania? What's the, it's like 1.5. That seems consequential. Racist. So, we'll talk about that more with the Hodge twins.
And it's 3% of a huge country. Right? So that represents thousands and thousands of people.
Right, It's not 3% of
It's
Ghana.
not good when Donald Trump says it, but whenever New Zealand does it,
right.
It's all good. It's all good to do.
I don't even know what's going on with New Zealand. I don't follow them since Lord of the Rings and that Hobbit trash. But they do have good beef, from what I hear. I can't afford it. I'm an online host. I don't have the CNN budget, right?